Hey everybody, how's it going? Stoudman coming back at you, and today I'm going to talk to you about a movie that I recently picked up, another one that I picked up here recently. And yes, I watched it before I did this particular review slash pickup video. So the thing is, I do videos that are just about the things that I picked up and I'm not reviewing them. And I also do review videos. And sometimes when I do pickup videos, people mistake them for review videos and they're like, why didn't you watch the movie? And the reason is because I just picked it up, and that's what the video is about, is me just picking it up and I'm just kind of talking about it a little bit. A lot of people prefer those kinds of videos, so that's why I make those videos. But I'm also, as you can see, doing these review videos and kind of pick up slash review videos just so I can please as many fans as possible. So hopefully this is more in line with what you're expecting. Trying to do as much as I can to please as many audiences as possible and not confuse too many audiences either. So today, of course, as you can probably tell from up above, I am going to be talking to you about Shopping Mall, which recently got this awesome Blu-ray release here from, I think it's MGM. Is it Lionsgate? Not MGM, sorry, Lionsgate. And Lionsgate, typically when it comes to Blu-ray, they're like run-of-the-mill basic stuff, right? But recently they decided to bring back this Vestron video thing. And what they're doing with these Vestron video releases is making a really nice feature-packed release of some really cool movies, like a really cool horror movies and stuff like that they have in their catalog. And this is a pretty damn cool release, to be quite honest. There are a few problems that I have with it that I'll mention, but yeah, in terms of the slip cover here, if you want this slip cover, and it's a really nice one, nice and shiny, and it's got the nice embossed Vestron logo here. If you want this, you should run out and get this immediately, because as I understand it, this is one of those that's only going to be available for the first print run, and then from then on you're just going to see it like this on store shelves. So yeah, if you want this with the nice Vestron thing, you don't get the Vestron thing on here. You don't. So if you want the nice Vestron logo at the top, you got to get it now, or I highly recommend it at least. It's probably not going to be easy to find if you don't. There are some really nice things about this release that I want to mention before I get into the actual review of the movie. And there are some not so nice things. The nice thing, like I said, the slipcover is really nice. What's not so nice is that it's $27.99, or it was when I pre-ordered it. That was the price I paid to pre-order this, $27.99. And it came in a fucking eco case. Lionsgate, with these releases, Lionsgate is trying their damnedest to do things more like this. Alright? Giving you a nice slip cover, giving you a bunch of special features. You know, they're trying their best to be like a proper home media label that is doing like really boutique awesome stuff, right? They're trying their best to appeal to the people who are actually still purchasing this home media, right? But apparently there are some things that they still don't get. And so to anybody at Lionsgate who might be watching this, I just want to say no. No. This is a cheap out. All right? We see it as a cheap out. Whether you see it as a cheap out or not does not matter. The customer is always right. No. Do not. You can ruin packaging with a Blu-ray case like this. Because if somebody holds and pinches this just well enough, and it's got this open area here, there's going to be a fold in this particular artwork. Don't. I beg you, don't do it. Don't buy these cheap ass, fucking flimsy as hell Blu-ray cases, these eco cases. Don't fucking do it. If you're going to go all the way and give us a really nice release of a really cool movie in this Vestron video line, don't cheap out when it comes to the fucking Blu-ray case. It's a few extra cents. Don't fucking do it. So, with that said, that's like literally the only complaint that I have about the packaging. It's a minor, I guess it's not totally minor, but it's ultimately a minor gripe. To get back to the good things. The good things are the special features here include a commentary with the director and co-writer Jim Wynorski, actress Kelly Maroney, and co-writer second unit director Steve Mitchell, an audio commentary with historian/authors Nathaniel Thompson from Mondo Video and Ryan Turek from Shock Till You Drop, and then an audio commentary with director co-writer Jim Wynorski and co-writer second unit director Steve Mitchell. It comes with three audio commentaries, which is something you really don't see with a typical Lionsgate release. This is something really special that they're doing for their boutique Vestron video label that they're doing here, and I really like it. I like how this is starting off. In addition to the audio commentaries, they also have an isolated score track and a trailer. The isolated score track I think is really fucking cool because the music in this movie is fucking beautiful. It's amazing. It's one of those synth scores that's just fan-fucking-tastic, and I can easily see myself putting it on in the background just to listen to it while I'm doing work or something like that. So, yeah, I very happy to have that particular isolated score. Very cool. But it continues. It continues, folks. There are also featurettes called Back to the Mall, Chopping Mall, which is, editing Chopping Mall, The Killbots Scoring Chopping Mall, The Robot Speaks, The Lost Scene, Army of One, and Chopping Mall Creating the Killbots. So, in terms of a release from some major studio, this is pretty goddamn feature-packed. This is something that a lot of people probably were not expecting to see from Lionsgate. And it's really nice. I have to say, it's very, very nice. The transfer, not fantastic, but I'm not too beat up about that either, because it's an old 80s horror movie that probably isn't going to look any better than it does now. You know what I mean? I mean, there are certain things that they cannot improve upon, and they're probably not going to improve upon this movie any more than they have with this particular Blu-ray release. It looks good enough. That's all I'm going to say. It looks good enough. And when it comes right down to it, I highly recommend this simply because it's nice to be able to watch a movie like this on Blu-ray. But if you don't know if you're going to like Chopping Mall or not, what I would recommend you do, there is an 8-pack horror movie pack set that comes with like Chud 2 and Chopping Mall is on there as well. Maybe, I think, if I remember correctly, Blood Diner might be on there as well. But whatever the case may be, it comes with some pretty damn cool movies, including Chopping Mall. So if you haven't seen it before, that particular release is typically on sale for between $5 and $10, and you get 8 really good movies on there, or 8 classic 80s horror movies. And this is one of those classic 80s horror movies that you get on that set. That's a good way to try it before you buy it on Blu-ray, essentially. So if you want to try it before you buy it, I highly recommend doing that. But if you know you're going to like it, or you know that you do like it, this is a really cool fucking release. The transfer is good enough and really nice to see Chopping Mall on Blu-ray once and for all. And I never expected this to hit Blu-ray, quite frankly. When I saw it a few years ago, I thought, this is a movie, never. If it does, surely it's going to be coming from like Scream Factory or something like that, right? From a boutique label. Nope. What Lionsgate decided to do is actually kind of sort of listen to the fans and give them a boutique label version of the movie. And granted, the transfer isn't necessarily as good as you're going to get from somebody like Scream Factory or Shout Factory, but it does the trick, all right? They're definitely charging more than Shout Factory does. They're charging more than even boutique labels do, and boutique labels will give you more. But for what it is, it's all right, and if the indications are correct that this may actually be like a limited print run, then you might as well, because chances are you're not going to get it any other way. So, you know, it's kind of like a gotta bite the bullet kind of thing. And that's what I decided to do, because when I saw this for the first time a few years ago with my friends with Skin Slip, I was absolutely impressed. This is a really freaking cool movie. It's a movie about a bunch of robots that have... Think Short Circuit, except for the robot that's gone crazy is not a friendly, happy-go-lucky robot. It's a murdering psychopath robot. And they're like these really horrific, gruesome death scenes. And, okay, so they're kind of cheesy in a lot of ways. But they're also really cool in a lot of ways. You know, they're the kind of scenes that if it was on a VHS tape, that's the part of the VHS tape that gets all fuzzy, because that's the part that everybody's watched a million fucking times, right? Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty damn cool if you ask me. Another cool little thing that they have is when you start up the Blu-ray, when you put it in the drive, a Vestron video logo kind of plays before the movie, and that's really cool. I thought that was a really nice touch. Cool special features. The commentary on this one, gotta listen to it. This, particularly the commentary from the director and the co-writer, because it's literally just a couple of dudes talking about making a movie, talking about the good old days, essentially, and just the way that they describe things can be absolutely hilarious at times. I found myself laughing out loud at their comments. They're talking about how Roger Corman, basically, they brought the idea to him and he said, put some TNA in there and we're good. Tits and ass. Put some tits and ass in there and you're good. And sure enough, they did that, and Roger Corman was happy with it. So, yeah, I just love little notes like that they make about this movie, and they are just so nonchalant about everything that they're talking about here. And there's like a wealth of knowledge, actually, that they're providing, even though they're kind of just a couple of goofballs who made a movie, essentially. And if you look at the other movies made by these guys, it's clear they just make a bunch of stupid little movies. There are references, they note there are references in these movies to like spaghetti westerns and to sci-fi B movies and stuff like that, because those were the movies that they watched when they were growing up that kind of inspired them to make a movie like this. And I just thought that was really cool to hear from the mouth of the people who made the movie, essentially, on the commentary. So this actually is a really fucking good commentary. I highly recommend watching it. If you've seen the movie and you would like watching it again, but you want something extra to go along with it, maybe, I highly recommend listening to that commentary. It's so fucking good. And I think actually that commentary is available on other DVD releases of Chopping Mall. So if you have another release of this and it says director, co-writer, commentary from Jim Wynorski and Steve Mitchell, if it says that and nothing else, as in it doesn't have anybody else except for those two, that's the one you want to listen to. If it's on any other release, then I highly recommend listening to it on there if you don't want to pick up the Blu-ray. If you do want to pick up the Blu-ray, I highly recommend listening to it on here. It's just nice to be able to have all these special features. The isolated score track, I think, is really cool. They've got a bunch of featurettes that I'm sure are most of them are ported over. And 3 audio commentaries. Not bad for a Blu-ray release in this day and age. Yeah, it's a little expensive, but if you're able to get it with the slipcover here, with the Vestron video slipcover, then I think it's, it's worth it if you like the movie, quite frankly. If you like the movie, it's worth the price. All right? The only thing that felt like a cheap out to me was the packaging. The Blu-ray case itself being an eco case was just, what the fuck? I guess if I had to pick something else out, I'd say that the transfer, they probably could have put more effort into it. But other than that, it's really good for what it is. So yeah, that's just what you're going to have to deal with when it comes to boutique labels, and they're trying to emulate boutique labels with this release. So I can't necessarily fault them for that, because at least they're fucking trying. There are so many fucking studios out there who are not giving a damn. They're not trying. They're putting even less effort into their releases. So to see somebody like Lionsgate actually putting more effort into their releases and trying to emulate the success of somebody like Shout Factory, I have to support that effort, because that is what I want to see more studios doing. I want them to be taking their product more seriously. I want them to be giving us what we actually want from a release like this. So when somebody actually goes to the effort of actually getting close to giving us exactly what we want, really close to giving us everything we want from a release like this, then that has to be rewarded. That effort has to be rewarded, just to let them know that you appreciate that they're actually going to that effort after having begged them to do so for so goddamn long. So yeah, if you feel the same way that I do about it, if you want to see more studios like Lionsgate taking that extra step, going that extra mile, and doing what these boutique labels like Shout Factory, Scream Factory, Criterion are doing, then you have to support releases like this. You just have to. Even if it's a little expensive, you just have to support them. So yeah, I'm happy to support this release just for that fact alone. I'm actually considering picking up Waxworks as well, because I haven't seen those movies, but it's a 2-pack. You're getting 2 movies for the same price here, $27.99, and that's a pretty good deal. And it's another one in the Vestron collection. And again, I want to support these releases because they're doing good stuff with them. I mean, this is what I want to see more studios doing, and I want to support that. I want them to know I appreciate that. So, yeah, that's, when you come right down to it, that's all I have to say about this. But it's a really cool release. I wouldn't say it's the best release ever, but it gets close. It gets really close to being a damn near perfect emulation of a boutique label. And if you look here, I know a lot of you collectors like this kind of thing. It's even got the numbering here. This is the first release in the Vestron video series. There's going to be a series of this, folks, so if you're into collecting series of Blu-rays and you want to get these Vestron releases, this is number 1. You're going to have to pick this up. So anyways, that'll do it for me. Thanks for watching, you guys. Let me know what you think of Chopping Mall in the comments below. Let me know if you think you might be picking this up or if you already did. Thanks for watching. Catch you later. Peace.